What's going on, fam? Welcome to another edition of the Sports Coma Unleashed, baby. We covering the latest on the NBA playoffs, man. Fantastic matchup with Denver and Utah. Got an opportunity to see some of that game. Spectacular ending and went into overtime. Boy, I tell you, Donovan Mitchell is a beast, but Jamal Murray showing his stuff, man. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to cover some of the latest news and notes as well on this one edition of the Sports Coma Unleashed. We're going to bring in DC, who will be co-hosting on this one. Tomorrow we'll have another Unleashed tomorrow. My Uncle Mozzie will return. But we're going to talk about the playoffs in this one. DC, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm all right, my man. I'm doing pretty good.
Good to hear from you, my brother. And a lot of great action is going on in the NBA, my man. To be honest with you, man, it's really fire, man. Seen some really good matchups. Uh, it's going down currently. The really we talk. You see the Toronto matchup. What happened with them in Brooklyn, and then of course the Boston
Right.
76ers matchup where Boston went up on Philly. Toronto was just an evisceration of epic proportion. We'll cover each one of these games, and of course the Denver matchup went into overtime. Right now, currently the Clippers and Dallas are going at it. We're going to get into all of these games today. We're going to start them off and kick it into high gear. So, DC, which one you want to cover first, my friend? I'm gonna let you decide on which one that you want to go at first. Which you feel comfortable covering.
I mean, we got to go with the best game of the day so far. We got to go with the Utah game.
Okay, let's
You don't
let's.
want to make the people wait.
No, we can go with it. I guess I actually we should make a way because that was the best game. Because the rest of them games, I mean, that was kind of suspect. The rest of it was pretty bad, man. Well, I ain't gonna say bad, but I expected a lot more out of Philadelphia than what they getting. They really looking bad. They kind of struggling a bit, in my opinion, man. But anyway,
Right.
let's get into that one, man. Jamal Murray, dude, just took over, man. I mean, despite Donovan Mitchell's 57 points, what the heck went on with that one, bro? That was insane, man.
Yeah, that was crazy. Donovan Mitchell looked like a man on the island out there by himself, though. Yeah, no help, bro.
Yeah,
None at all.
that was true. That was a part of it, man. And I just don't understand. I just can't get it, man. I just don't understand how that was allowed to happen. None of the shooters got involved in it. You thought Ingles might have get an opportunity. Rudy Gobert played his defense and did what he does, but it just seems like to me this team looks a little over, a little off kilter here. And Denver might be able to sneak one here. What you think about it? Kind of break this one down with me.
I think Denver is the deeper team, man. So they definitely had an advantage here, and they have the ability to be able to play however you want to play. Want to play up tempo, think through Joker. But the Jazz to me seems like they want to be slow and methodical, but then you got this dynamic player in Donovan Mitchell who's like just basically what like Spider Man, bro, like what they call him. You know what I'm
Dude
saying?
was awesome, man.
He's full of energy. He's fast as hell, and they want to be this slow, methodical half. It's just weird. Look, and when I watch them, they're just missing something. And when I look at Denver, the only thing Denver is missing to me is just experience. I mean, if they keep that team together with what they got and what they building, and then if Bobo actually turns into something, you're looking at a team. They got Porter. He didn't have a huge game today, but he's been doing his thing in the bubble. So Denver, to me, they just have so much potential, and then you got the enigma in Murray. You know, we ain't heard nothing from him in a while, and he just come out here for offs and cavalierly just gives you 36 out the blue. You know what I'm saying? So Denver is a problem, man. They're a problem, and I don't think Utah makes it out of this one. But I think they gonna put up a fight because of Donovan Mitchell. You know, Rudy Gobert is gonna get you down on the block and playing good D. And he's also a game of late in games, man. We know as Pelicans fans that he didn't beat us a couple of times just at the end of the game. So you can't really count them out. The team they gonna fight, but I think Denver is gonna be too much in the end, man. It's just too much versatility, too much talent.
Yeah, it was, man. This was a real and exciting game, man. I catch as much as I could, man, in this matchup. If you look at what Denver did, Jamal led the way, of course, in 40 minutes, man. He put up 36 of them. And and then Djokovic. They talk about Nikola Djokovic. He had 42 minutes in the matchup as well. He finished with 29 points in the game. Jeremy Grant pitched in 19. Monty Williams 14 points as well. 13 points for Michael Porter Jr., who they benched later on in the game. 5 of 13 shooting for him in 31 minutes of action. So they're trying to get him involved in it. But I mean, it was for many portions. I thought Utah was going to take this one. To be quite honest with you, but then Jamal Murray says it's not going down that way. He turned around and he lit him up. But Mitchell, to his credit, 57 points. And usually when you score 57 points, you're supposed to win. They couldn't get it.
Right.
19 points for Joe Ingles, DC. 18 points for Clarkson. 17 for Rudy Gobert. And then nobody else, bro. 7 from Niang off the bench. But outside of that, nobody else could help carry the Tide. So, like you said, this Utah team currently constructed. If if Denver keeps playing like this, they're gonna walk right through them and move on to the second round, bro.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, they're not providing much resistance. I mean, Utah is supposed to be known as a defensive team, and this is all I hear. But um, I mean, they hung 135 on them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just not acceptable. You can't allow them to shoot 53% from the 3 point line and think you're gonna win. You know, so Murray had a very explosive game. I expect him to play good in this whole series, but I don't see him putting 36 up every night. Utah is definitely gonna win some games here, but I just over the long haul of it, man. Unless the Nuggets collapse, I don't see them being able to pull it out, man. Donovan Mitchell gonna have to drop 50 every night just for him to win. I mean, especially if Denver is playing how they played tonight, man. They was getting what they wanted, man. Getting out on a fast break. You know what I'm saying? They hitting their threes and they did what they had to do in the paint. So
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. We got the highlights spinning right now. Murray was flooring. Jokovic had the Holy Ghost as well. They were playing defense. They were having fun. They were running the floor. And this current Denver team is very fun. And by the way, just to throw a little Pelican knowledge in there with you, remember when Dale Demps had an opportunity to get this guy shooting the ball? It came. He basically, and I remember this. It came but down to two people that he said that he was gonna pick, and it was Buddy Hield or Jamal Murray, and you can see what. I would just leave it alone. It's like beating a dead horse, man.
we've been looking for a point guard ever since. It's a
Every
point
damn
guard
cent.
and a small
Yeah,
forward,
you
man.
had
We
one.
could never solve that enigma, bro.
Under Dale Demps, we couldn't. Under Dale Demps, we couldn't. Boy. But anyway, that'll do it for that game, family. We're gonna kind of move it to the next contest. DC, we're looking at the Clippers. Look like they got their win by 8 here. They knocked off Dallas tonight. Kristaps Porzingis was thrown out. But this, if he was in the game, this could have had a different take. But we're gonna cross that game in a minute. Let's start with the Toronto matchup. Toronto 134 over Brooklyn. Let's look at that game. What you think about that, man?
Man, I was actually, I ain't gonna say shocked, but the way Brooklyn was playing hard, of course I don't expect them to beat Toronto, but I just see Toronto scoring 1 point less than Denver did in overtime. They hung 134 on them in regulation, man. I mean that's crazy.
Right.
I wasn't really expecting that. I was expecting Denver to put up a fight, you know what I'm saying, and kind of, you know, have it be a game for the most part, and then they kind of bow out, you know, the last minute, 2 minutes of the game, because Toronto got that championship experience, and Brooklyn is playing without their best two players, so you don't really expect a lot out of them. But to just get blowed out by 24, man, that was a little shocking for a playoff game. Even for Toronto, they're a good team, and they are what you call a team. Like everybody knows their roles. They won a championship. This is the same team minus Kawhi Leonard. That's a big piece, but other people have stepped up, and Van Fleet just man, man I wish we could kind of get him down in New Orleans, bro. But I know it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah,
That Toronto boy, he ain't going nowhere, man. But he went crazy, man. He went crazy on the 3 point line, Big Q. That's
crazy,
insane, bro. And
big
then
time.
then, then you like, man, that by itself is just crazy, you know. Then he like, yeah, I'm gonna give you 11 of them dimes too. Like, wow. So Van Fleet doing this thing, man. You say he might run Kyle Lowry out of Toronto.
Yeah, looking down to it, bro. The way he doing, he got. I mean, they're gonna open up the bank for this guy, man. I'm serious, man. They got to. I mean, in this matchup, 134 to 120 to excuse me to 110. Van Vliet 39 minutes, 11 for 15 from the field, 8 of 10 from downtown. The guy scored 30 points. He had 11 assists, one turnover. 39 minutes, 11 assists. That is unbelievable.
Great point guard play.
That's excellent. Then you look at Kyle Lowry, who's kind of getting up there. He struggled this one. 3 of 14 from the field, 3 of 10 from downtown. Although he did hit all his free throws, he finished with 16 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds, playing off of Van Vliet, which is an interesting way to have him playing because he does have he's about 6'3", 6'4", I think, isn't he, DC? So he
Right.
got a little size. Well, I guess you can't use him in that capacity.
He's about 6'3".
So if you look at that, I mean, he was really nobody else. Of course, you had 22 off the bench from Serge Ibaka, 26 minutes. Yeah, he did his thing. 8 of 14, finished with 22 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, even had a block. That's traditional Serge. 18 points for Siakam. 18 points, 11 rebounds, 31 minutes. Now, he struggled in this one. It would have probably been a bigger blowout than what it was. He was 4 of 13, 1 of 4 from downtown, 9 of 9 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, and 18 points.
Q.
Yes, sir.
Another thing, man. I'm looking at this. Do you realize Toronto only missed one free throw?
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Tell it to the
Man,
Pelicans. Tell it to the stinking Pelicans.
they shot 97% from the free throw line, man.
Insane, man.
That's crazy. So
Insane.
they took 33 free throws, and they damn near made all of them.
It's insane, bro.
Brooklyn only got 16, and they missed 4. That's crazy. Yeah, I told you, Big Q. Great free throw shooting follows good coaching.
Yeah, you ain't lying, bro. I mean, you ain't lying, bro. The bottom line is, all I can say, man, is that it was terrific, man. I tell you no different, bro. It was really terrific to watch that game and see how they was able to put it together. And Van Fleet, man, he has arrived. He was dishing the ball, penetrating, controlling and running the offense. And this general manager, dude, you know, this guy, they talked about this guy. He puts a championship together. A lot of people thought Toronto was going to fall through the floor coming up this upcoming season. They most certainly did not. They have been competitive. They're going to run Brooklyn off, no doubt about it. And I'm not expecting them to be a player in the Eastern Conference with there because, of course, you're looking at teams like Boston, which I think could take them out of here, and Milwaukee, which is tough as well. But Toronto is a sneaky team in the conference. What you think, DC?
They are, man. I mean, we like to not think of them as what they are, and I mean, this is the champs, bro.
Yep.
They the champs, man. You got to give it to them. Me and you were talking earlier, kind of before the show, and we were talking about Boston, getting there in Milwaukee. Man, you can't count these guys out, man. I mean, I know without Kawhi, it's like, oh, okay, it's just Toronto, but they look like the same team as if they had Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, man, and I think I'm gonna have to stop taking them for granted because I'm speaking on it. I know a lot of other people doing it, but primarily I'm talking about myself. And all they do is ball, man, and they play as a team. That's the one thing I love about them. When you think about Toronto, it's like who jumps out at you. They don't really have, I guess, a superstar. They play team ball, And at any given night, it could be Spicy Pete. Even Kyle Lowry could heat up. Shit. Sometimes Mark Gasol do his thing. You know, anybody can beat you, man. And then they got the wild card and OG. You don't know what you're gonna
Yep.
get with Ananobi.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
When he's balling, and everybody else do their thing, man, Toronto almost unbeatable, bro.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
if he's balling and everybody else look having a normal night, they almost unbeatable, bro.
Yeah, that you're absolutely right on that, man. Well coached, they hit the free throws, discipline, and then of course
Great team, bro.
they are, man. Gasol is playing, and they're a good 3-point shooting team. It's a good mixture of talent, and they're like a starless team. You look at people like Siakam and Van Vliet. A lot of those people didn't expect these guys to develop, but credit to the general manager, man. He got a really good team here. 53 winning team, now DC. Let's not spit on that.
Right.
53 games this team won this season, marching into the playoffs and destroyed Brooklyn. Very big in this one. Of course, looking at Brooklyn's top people, 26 points off the bench from what's Cabaret. Cabaret. He finished with 26 in the 33 minutes, 9 of 13, 6 of 9 from downtown as well in this matchup. But their top people, like Karis LeVert, 15 points, a very unimpressive 15 points, 12 from Temple. Very unimpressive. Jared Allen in this one had 15 points and 12 rebounds. He's not much of a scorer. Joe Harris, 19 points in the matchup, 8 of 4 from the field. He's 3 of 5 from downtown. But they didn't get enough of nothing. In this is going to be a nasty series in which Toronto just completely runs over them. Because to be honest with you, Powell, we speak about Serge Ibaka, but Powell didn't get going in this one. You know what I'm saying? So this team is, you better watch out for Toronto. Into the second round, they're going to run over the Brooklyn Nets or the Peers, man. With none of their stars, they don't stand a rat's chance. So you know what, going next round. All right, DC, we're going to move on to the next one now, man. We're going to go bounce into the matchup of Boston and the Sixers. Let's touch on that one next. 109 to 101, my friend. Boston took them down in the matchup. Halford had, well, he wasn't all that, but 26 points for Joel Embiid for Philly. 32 points for Tatum, bro. 10 of 21. 41 minutes, 2 of 5 from downtown, 10 of 11 from the free throw line. This man finished with 32 points, 13 boards, DC, 3 blocks. Let me go through that line again because that's so beautiful. 32 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks, 41 minutes, 10 of 21 from the field, 2 of 5 from downtown, 10 of 11 from the free throw line, and 1 turnover with all that production. Then his buddy, Brown, 29, DC. 29, 9 of 16 from the field, 5 of 8 from downtown, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, 29 and 6 rebounds, 4 assists in the matchup, only 2 turnovers. These guys were crucial. At 19 points for Kimba. Kimba was real steady with his. Hayward chunked in 12. Nobody else in double figures. DC, pretty much it was Brown and Tatum doing this to these people. What you think?
Man, this was an excellent display of Tatum ability. Very impressed with those two guys. Remember throughout the season talking to people and it was like, oh, Tatum's better than Brandon Ingram, and I'm like, oh, he not us being Pelicans fans, but man, after watching this game, man, it's just he does so many different things in different phases of the game. The only thing I don't see him do a lot is like really facilitate, but he he was like that defensive anchor. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, like I ain't seen this out of Tatum.
Yeah.
He was playing mad D, man, playing tight. He's played hard all game. Didn't have a excellent shooting night, but he made it do what it do, bro. And he took advantage of everything they gave him. The 1 turnover was the thing that stood out to me because it kind of set the tone for their team, man. I mean, nobody was really turning the ball over like that on their team, you know. And then you look at the other team, and they had them turning the ball over left and right. They had Philly looking discombobulated, disoriented, and they just looked off, man. Joel Embiid, he was in the game. It looked like he'd rather be somewhere else. And
Yeah. What's his
I
problem,
didn't see
DC?
him.
What's the
I
problem? What's
don't
going
know,
on?
man, because I seen who they have on Joel wasn't making no wolf to call for the ball or nothing. They had a little guy on him, man, that they
Right.
put on him. And then by the time he got the ball, he ran himself into a pick and got Tyrus lined up on him. I was like, nah, ain't that some dumb shit? You had the advantage, and y'all run a pick, and then get the guy who's supposed to be matched up on him. I don't know, man. Philly just looks like they look all over the place to me, man. I like what I was seeing out of the little kid Burks. He was a bright spot for them, but everybody else, yeah. Jay Richardson kind of kept him in the game. Every time they would fall back, he only hit 3 of his 9 3-pointers, but he would hit a big three, man, to kind of put him back in it. You know, so he played all right, but I wasn't impressed with Philly at all. I see Boston taking the series, and if they come out with the type of intensity and just the lack of daisicalness I saw from them tonight, they had effort and energy. Don't get me wrong. They weren't fighting. It's 101, 109, but this game went down to the last minute. But if they come out just with that lack of focus and not handling their business, man, Boston gonna make short work of them, man. This might be a sweep. That's how Boston was looking to me tonight. Every time Philly did something, Boston answered, and it was going back and forth. But Boston just kept answering, like y'all not winning. Kimber Walker didn't have a lot of points, and he only had 5 assists. But what I did like, he was commanding the game, bro, and he was being a true point guard. And he was feeding the hot hand. He was letting them Tatum and Brown get off, man, because they was the hot guys. So I loved what I saw from the Celtics. And if they can keep this play up and incorporate their bench a little more, because they didn't really get much out of their bench, the Celtics may be very dangerous moving forward.
I think the Celtics, in their mind, they got something to prove, bro, in the way they played in this game, man. And you're right. I don't know what's going on with Philadelphia, man. Just a lot of junk that don't need to be going on right now with the men.
They need another coach, Big Q.
Yeah, and
I don't think that coach
I thought,
got him, bro.
I thought Brett Brown was going to be a guy that kind of will march him through that. But yeah, he kind of losing control here, bro.
Wait, didn't they have another coach before Brett Brown and they fired him?
Yes, they did. They did.
What coach they had before him?
Oh man, I can't remember the
I don't
dude
remember,
name. I
man.
don't remember the dude, man. But
He
they
must have not been that good. I can't remember.
well, I mean, Brown brought in some he brought in a style of playing here that kind of helped them. But in the end, it didn't work, man. In the end, it just didn't
I
work.
mean, but we gotta mention one thing too, man. I mean, Philly is discombobulated and out of sorts, but we do gotta understand they are missing Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons
That's right.
is kind of the engine that makes this whole thing go. I'm not giving them excuse, but that's just kind of the truth. And they definitely look like they could use him up there. I mean, Al Horford had 6 assists. You know what I'm saying? They have no facilitator, man. So, you know. But their coach says he's very happy with what they can do and the sky's the limit. Like he's supposed to say all that, I guess. But I don't know, man. Looks like it might be over for Philly.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel the same way with that as well, bro. I think it's looking real glum for him. I think they done ran the length because Embiid doesn't look inspired, and you're right. Ben Simmons' component is a major part of it. Without him there, I mean they don't look like
Did
very much. Now let's.
Did you see Embiid walking through the tunnel, man,
I
after the
seen him.
game,
Yeah,
bro?
he looked defeated,
He
man. That
he
body
he looked
language.
he looked like if I ain't know no better, I'd have thought they lost the series already.
Right,
The way he looked.
right. He
He
looked
looked
real.
very, like you said, defeated. He
He
looked
looked
like he
defeated.
might be going in the locker room and cry.
Yeah, he
You know
looked
what I'm
defeated.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was 1-1, but to me, it was like the Celtics just won the series in this one game.
Yeah, it was impressive, man. How Celtics are playing, and we know they're capable of this type of play. We know they're capable of this type of play, and
They were
eventually,
very, very sharp, man.
yeah, they were sharp, very disciplined. This is just what we're accustomed to seeing with them. And then, of course, we look at Philly, like we was talking about Philly. Embiid finished with 26 points and 16 rebounds in the matchup. Not a slouching effort, but he had 5 turnovers and 5 personal fouls in this matchup. as well. 37 minutes for Joel Embiid, 8 of 15 from the field. He even shot to shoot some threes, 1 of 4 from downtown, 9 of 12 from the free throw line in his action. And then any other guys, two 18 scores. You had Richardson. Jay Rich had 18 points in the matchup with 6 rebounds. And then off the bench, you had Alex Burks, in 28 minutes. He tossed in 18 points. But Al Horford really struggled in this when he was 3 of 7 from the field. 31 minutes, 6.6 assists and 7 rebounds. Al Horford really, you got to get a better effort from him. And when Ben Simmons is out, DC, when he's out, Tobias Harris, man. Tobias is making a lot of money. He played 39 minutes in this matchup. 6 of 15. He was all 3 from downtown, 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He finished with 15 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. Not a bad effort, but when you're matching up with scores like what Tatum was doing with 32 points and Brown with 29 points, Tobias Harris makes too much money for him to be just scoring a mere 15 points. You need a 20-point or 25-plus affair from Tobias Harris.
Yeah, they definitely signed the wrong guy, man. They shouldn't have never let Jimmy Butler walk out of there. Um, Tobias, to me, he was trying to keep it together, but you got to realize looked like he was playing 2 roles. He was kind of trying to be that facilitator. No Ben Simmons. They don't really have a true point guard. And what is it, Milton, the other little guy?
Yeah, Shake Milton.
Yeah, he's a decent player, but
He
he ain't Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? So Tobias, you're right. He got to step up, man. I forgot what his contract was. I think he's getting like 170 million
He
or
getting
something
big
crazy
bucks
like
there,
that.
bro. He can't be afforded to having these 15-point games, especially with Ben Simmons out. He is one of
Yeah,
those guys that have to step up that's making that big cake. But you're right
but
about Jimmy Butler.
Al Horford was kind of pushed out of the game if you realize that the Celtics were playing small, so
Right.
there was really no room for Philly to have Al Horford and Embiid out there.
He
So
still got
you
31
know,
minutes, DC. Come on now.
yeah, he got 31 minutes. And he damn sure
That
should
ain't
have had more than
right. That's 6
6
points.
points.
Come on, 30. Even if he would have put in at least maybe a 12 to 15-point game, which is not a bad thing for Al Horford to do. But had he had put in that
Right.
and
That's
Harris
all you
put in the
expect
lane,
from him.
right. If he'd done what he was supposed to do, and of course Harris would have chunked in, this could have been their game. Those guys can't afford those type of outings. They have to step up in the loss of Ben Simmons. All I'm saying.
They do.
All
I
right.
agree.
All right. Now let's move on, bro. Let's go to the next matchup here. Of course, the last one on the docket for tonight we're talking about is the Clippers and the Mavericks matchup that just went final not too long ago. 118-110. Clippers take it, DC. Behind Leonard, 29 points for Leonard. He played really well in this one. 38 minutes of action, 29 points, 6 assists, 12 rebounds. The guy was 11 of 21 from the field, 1 of 7 from downtown, 6 of 6 from the line. He finished with 29 points on the matchup in 38 minutes. Not bad for their top star right there. And, of course, 27 from Paul George. These guys play so well together, man. 37
Yeah, they
minutes for
do.
Paul George, 10 of 22, 4 of 11 from downtown, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 27 points for Paul George, 29 for Kawhi Leonard, 14 off the bench from sweet Lou Williams, and, of course, a 19-point affair for Morris. He drew in 19 points and 6 rebounds in the matchup as well. The only other scorer in double digits for the Clippers was Zubac. He put in 10 and 10 on the night. So the Clippers continue, man, to do some really to play really smart ball. Now, of course, this game would have probably been a little different now, DC. Had they have not lost Kristaps Porzingis. Now, he played only 20 minutes in this matchup, but during those 20 minutes, he scored 14 points, had 6 rebounds in the game. So you can imagine if he was able to do the duration of the game, this would have definitely might have been a different contest.
Right. And I was telling you when that happened live, man, when Porzingis got ejected, I said it's over for him. He was like, whoa, 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 hold up, man. He still got some. I said it's over for him, bro. Like you can't do that. It just changed the whole momentum of the game. And it was a game where they was fighting back and forth. And I didn't see them being able to recover after that happened because that little thing it was enough to turn the tide. I'm gonna be honest though, I'm kind of sick of the NBA with their bullshit with these texts, man. Because Paul George and Porzingis. The tech before that, not what Morris and Porzingis got into it. Paul George was a little upset with a call, and he kind of just punched his hand at the air. Like, come on, man, why are we getting text for that? Why? Like, so okay, you call a call, and I don't like, and I'm not supposed to have a response at all. Like, what am I supposed to be, a robot? I'm upset, and I'm full of adrenaline. I'm full of testosterone. My blood is flowing. Like, what do they want these guys to do, man? Now, it's one thing if they start talking all crazy to the ref and cursing them out and all of that. Okay, I get it. But just for like punching your fist at air, like I get a tech. I can even understand like what DeRozan kept doing when he would take the ball and he's banging it down and all of that. I'm not too crazy about it. I wouldn't call a tech for that as a referee, but I get it. This is a little disrespectful. It's slowing up the play of the game too. You're throwing the ball or whatever, or throwing the ball hard at the official, and I get it. But come on, man, punching my fist at air. I get a tech for that. What the hell is this? What is this? This Pee Wee basketball? I don't understand.
I
Man.
agree with you, man. I think that you have a very valid point on that, man. I don't know what they expect and what the hell they want from players when the players are just merely reacting. As long as the guy ain't punching another guy, let him react. As long as he ain't disrespecting the referees or cursing or
Didn't
spitting at him.
disrespect the referee. That's
But
the thing.
I
Just
know
punch that air, man.
But see,
And upset with the call.
But see, that's a discretion they leave to the referee who does a knee jerk reaction on the court. Well, it should be a referee off course say, listen, man, we don't need to do that. We don't need to throw these guys. The guy reacted. He didn't curse. He didn't swear. But that's something that maybe they could take it up the thing, because the NBA to me is getting a little too finicky, a
Pussy.
little too
call it what it is.
It's a little too it's a little too effeminate, man. It's what it is, man. It really is. But let's get back into the rest of this game, man, because Luka Doncic from the Maverick side of things, he was outstanding in this matchup. But
don't lie, Big Q.
But I call Wonder Boy. You gonna live with that one. I called him. I said, listen, DC, you might not know this guy, but
you did.
And
I give you that.
I said, but I'm telling you, this guy is the real deal. Okay, now, and the reason why I did my research on him long before he came over here, and I said this guy's gonna be something special. His confidence, his style, and he fit right on in. But 42 points, that's the good side.
I should have put some money down on that, man, when you told me that. He spoke with such conviction too. I said, man, he really believed in this little guy.
Yep, and what he did. 42.
He balled out, man.
42 points, 9 assists in the matchup, 7 rebounds. The guy he played in 38 minutes. He was 13 of 21 from the field, 2 of 6 from downtown. Not impressive, but the guy was 14 of 15 from the free throw line. 42 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. Problem is, DC, 11 turnovers. That's way too many. 18 points. 18
by
points
his
for Hardaway.
standards, this is a horrible game by his standards.
That is. That's way too many. That's double-digit turnovers responsible by one player. DC, they had 21 what was it? 21 turnovers the entire summation of the game. He was responsible for 11 of them. That's more than his entire team combined.
Yeah. I gotta take 20 points away from him, like with the 11 turnovers. So it's like when I look at it, it ain't even like he scored 42 points. It's like he scored 22 points. I give him credit for the 22, 7 and 9 and 3 steals. How would you feel if Luka had that stat line and they lost? You'd say, oh, Luka, he was all right. So he scored 42, but I felt like he was just all right. And the Clippers, man, I got to get him some credit, because from soon as the ball was in play, man, I mean, like first play, like they tipped it up. Pat Beverly, I think, stole the ball from him. They got the tip, and Pat Beverly some type of way wound up with the ball, and they was on Luka, man. I mean, like they was pressing him. They was all in his face. He probably had like 4 turnovers just in the first quarter.
Yeah.
They was not giving him nothing. Right. But over the course of the game, Luka is Luka.
He's good.
That boy,
right?
That boy good. So you
can't give him no wrong,
down, man.
Right? You can't give him Luka Doncic. Not only can he score the ball outside and inside, you can't give him a crease of light if you're gonna do that.
He's not athletic at all. He knows them angles, man.
Right. and he's really intelligent. He knows how to get people involved. And had
Yes.
Kristaps Porzingis was involved, I think this would have probably been a different game because
But
Hardaway production wasn't that bad. DC,
Hardaway brought him back into the game, man.
right,
He was the guy that started hitting threes to kind of get him back in the game. But
right.
Luka, they was pressing him. He had 4 turnovers and
Curry,
all of that.
Curry
I'm like,
too now.
man,
Curry too. Curry helped out too. He helped them out
he
with
did,
Hardaway as well. So I mean, yeah, they did it. He did.
he did.
But
But wait, I want to say this: Luka was going through all of that, man. And then I look up at the end of the first quarter, and he still had 11 points. I was like, damn.
yeah,
It's like, wait, and he was playing horrible. Then he slipped and fell and hurt his ankle, and all type of stuff was going on. It's just looking bad for him. And at the end of the first quarter, Luka still had 11 points. Man,
yeah.
this dude here to stay, man. He gonna be around for a while.
Yeah, he's something else. He struggled in it, and then you turn around 42 on the night, and they just
He
they
got
fell
hard,
by
Q.
8.
He got hard, man.
Yeah, he got hard.
He kept fighting, man. I gotta respect that.
All
But I
right.
knew they was gonna lose once Porzingis got ejected, though. It was over.
It'll be a different matchup when Porzingis come back because Dallas showing me that they could play. Now listen, Hardaway played really well in this one. Not well, but that's what I expect from Hardaway. Although he can drop 25 on you real quick. Curry off the bench was doing all right. I'm really disappointed in Trey Burke. I thought Trey Burke could do a little better than what he did. He had 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting from the field. Didn't really like that. Didn't get much production off the bench except for Curry in the matchup. That was disappointing. And the rest of these guys couldn't get involved. But Porzingis was really the thing that they needed. Couldn't get it going. 14 points, 6 rebounds in the matchup, and 20 minutes kicked out of the game. Ultimately, you could say it definitely impacted what they're going to do. Because had Porzingis played, this might have been a different affair here. This might have been a different outcome. DC, let's move on to the previews. We're going to do some quick previews of the games for tomorrow. We have this, and of course tomorrow, family, just to let y'all know, we're going to do a TSC Unleashed tomorrow afternoon, and we're going to preview some of these matchups of these games going in as Mozzie chimes in tomorrow as well. So, or then again, we'll probably switch it on. We'll see how it goes. But y'all just hit y'all notification bells to stay alert on it. TSC Unleashed. Now the Magic, first up, DC Magic and the Bucks are facing off in this series. And who you have?
Whew. The Magics and the Bucks.
Magic and the Bucks. I think the
Is
Magic
this,
going to the
is
finals.
this like a trick question?
I think the Magic going to the
You know
finals.
what? I get a Magic some play if Isaacs was there, man. I mean, this is one of them typical games where, a team like that could come in and steal a game. But man, I mean, Isaacs is hurt. Will Martell Fultz gonna drop 40? Like I don't see it, man. I don't see the Magic taking this one. I don't see the Magic getting a victory at all. But maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe
this
they
sweep city.
get a win.
This sweep city, player. And Bucks ain't gonna sleep on them. This sweep city right here, baby.
They ain't got nobody to stop Giannis.
They don't have nobody to stop anybody. I mean, Vucevic is interesting, but man, come on, man.
Vucevic is gonna get him, but that's it.
That's it.
That's it, man.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
I don't think I'm gonna watch this, man. I might just watch the highlights.
Well, they got it as an early game at 12:30, so I mean,
I'm not gonna be out. I'm not gonna be home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I'm not home.
All right, next game, afternoon game, 3:00 Central Time. Heat and Pacers. More competitive, really interesting game right there, DC. It's kind of a back and forth affair right there. That's game one.
That's a tough pick, Big Q.
Really close. Really close.
It's two teams that I think really play similar.
They
am I
are.
right?
They're only separated by a game apiece. Yeah, they are quite similar.
They are very similar in their play styles, man. Two versatile teams that can do a little bit of everything. Man, because they have in my opinion, the best guy out of everybody on the floor, I'm gonna go with the Heat, man. If Jimmy Butler is coming with his A game, I'm gonna go with the Heat, man. very, very close. The Pacers definitely can take it, but my gut just telling me the Heat, man. Jimmy Butler is a competitor, and I think he refuses to let Indiana win this game.
Yeah, that's going to be one of those grind games, the grind series of the first round that we're going to really enjoy. This could end up being like a 7 game series right here that we really enjoy. Both these teams, the
Right.
Heat and the Pacers, you're absolutely right. Their styles are very they're identical, and they're only separated by 1 game. All right, let's move on to the 5:30 matchup Central Time. Thunder at the Rockets. DC is a little bit more competitive. Chris Paul. A lot of people didn't pick OKC to even be in the playoffs. They consider Chris Paul going there as a mismatch that he'll hold up NAW's cousin, Shai Alexander Gilchrist. And as you can see, the Thunder won 44 games. And I really picked the Pelicans to have that many wins. Just shows you how
Right.
much I know to have faith in Heavenly Hill drinking ass guy like Al Gentry. But
Hey, don't do him that, man. That man is he getting unemployment checks now, bro. You
he
can't
ain't
be
get,
doing that.
he ain't getting no unemployment checks, man. That sucker been on. He been basically
COVID,
coasting.
man.
He been
He
coasting.
lost his job because of COVID.
All right, man, cut it out. All right, let's look at it. Thunder 44-28 in this matchup. DC coming into it. Game 1 of this one. Rockets Thunder. I'm not really confident in the way the Rockets have been playing as of late. DC. They seem like they don't have that mojo that they customarily have. I think I'm going with the Thunder in this one.
I don't know what you seen as
I
far as
don't
how the
like how they.
Rockets been
I don't
playing.
like how they've been playing. I don't like how Westbrook. Now Harden is going to do what Harden do, but I'm just telling you that the Thunder playing a little as a
Westbrook has
better
been
team.
playing. Westbrook has been playing pretty good, Big Q. But
No, I don't see
they
it that way,
had a
DC.
few games in the bubble where they didn't look up to Paul. But I'll say this: the
Who's the better
Rockets
team?
are the Thunder is a better team, and the Rockets have better pieces, but the Thunders play better as a team. That's why I'm gonna pick them, especially to win this first game, because I think the Rockets might go in and they think they're gonna
Sleepwalking.
ISO, dribble, and just run through the Thunder. Man, the Thunder ain't having that, man. The Thunder is gonna go in there and they're gonna do what they do. And I think as a unit, they're not gonna let them guys just beat them playing one on one ball, man. The Rockets gonna have to do more than James Harden and Russell Westbrook taking turns, because that's what it be looking like to me. It's like, all right, I'm tired. It's your turn.
Yep.
You
That
know what
that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying?
But that's the
That
thing.
ain't
But
gonna work when you playing a real team and you talking about playoff intensity defense. That's not gonna work, man.
that's my whole point is the fact that it's a better team. You got Chris Paul operating. Chris Paul's playing really good basketball right now. I mean,
And
he
Chris
really
Paul
is.
teaching Shea to be a
Uh,
miniature version of him if you're not
exactly.
paying attention.
Well,
Shea
that
is becoming a facilitator, man. He's
yeah.
becoming a general
But
on the
see,
slick.
a lot of people believed when Chris Paul went there was a mismatch and that it would destroy the team. But they didn't count on the fact that Billy Donovan, who's a real coach, who knows how to call plays and practice defense, balance offense, defensive minded principles, and how to make the team win as a team and not just let them run up and down the court. You know what? The guy's fired. I'm gonna leave him alone. But the reality is the Thunder is I just feel a Thunder in this one. So you going with me? The Thunder gonna win this. The Rockets ultimately gonna wake up because the Thunder gonna keep them slipping, and you say ultimately the Thunder gonna end up winning the series. That's what you're gonna say. I already know.
Right.
Okay, let's go into the final matchup, which is the game that you will make sure you're home for tomorrow night, which is the Lakers and the Trailblazers. And this is 8 o'clock Central Time. This is a big one, DC. The Lakers, LeBron
Those
James,
those guys are two MVP candidates, man. So
LeBron
I'm not
James,
gonna put I'm not
Damian
gonna put
Lillard,
them past the.
McCullough,
I'm not gonna
Carmelo, AD.
wait. What happened?
I said you're looking at the Lakers, Trailblazers, LeBron James,
I got
Damian Lillard.
some noise in the background going on, man.
What are you hearing?
I can't hear you. I hear some talking and stuff in the background, Big Q.
Okay, I don't hear any talking, my brother. I don't hear any talking, bro. Can you hear?
Yeah, I'm hearing like an echo. I'm hearing us.
Okay,
But
I don't hear it. But go ahead, bro. Go ahead, DC. Are you still there? All right, we seem like we having issues, family. Just hold bear tight. with me. We might having a phone issue here. All right, DC, are you still with us? Okay, gonna let him pop back in. But anyway, family, this is the matchup: Trailblazers, Lakers. A lot of people picking the Trailblazers here, man. To be honest with you, to kind of give the Lakers a 7-game series or a push in this one. A lot of people thinking that the Trailblazers got what it takes to push the Lakers out, and a lot of people are cheering for the Trailblazers to beat the Lakers to stop this little LeBron thing he got going with Anthony Davis in Los Angeles. I think that ultimately this will be a 7-game series. I think Portland is for real. I think Portland will push the Lakers in this series. I'm gonna just keep it real with you, keep it real with you, 100. This will be an interesting series. McCullough and Lillard are gonna be up on there. Carmelo Anthony is there. I mean, this is an interesting team. They hit the Lakers where it hurts, and we're gonna see if LeBron and AD can steer this ship because this is gonna be a tough matchup, man. DC, thoughts on Trailblazers Lakers before we stop the stream?
I think this is probably gonna be one of the more entertaining matchups, along with Dallas. Maybe Utah and Denver may give us some run for money too if they can keep that going what they had this game today. But this is gonna be very interesting because the Lakers, if anybody's paid attention in the bubble, they weren't playing too good. And then you got a team and the Blazers coming. They playing their best ball of the season. They didn't restack the deck. Got two great players and Collins and Nurkic to come back off of injury, and they looking great. Melo look.
Hold on, DC, you still with me? Okay, he fell out again. All right, we're gonna have him in the stream, family. We're starting to have some issues.
Yo,
Yeah, go ahead. You fell off again. Go ahead and finish your thought, bro.
okay. What's the last thing I heard, man? I was talking down.
You stopped at Mellow and then it went blank.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was saying, Hoodie Mello, he doing his thing, man, and the Blazers are they're serious underdogs. But if anybody as the 8 seed, I think could take out the Lakers, it would be them, man. Dame is playing out of his mind, and the Lakers have absolutely not 1 ounce of anything to throw at that. They don't have anything to slow down Damian Lillard. Not let alone CJ McCullough. Who they gonna put on Dame?
Avery
Because
Bradley.
LeBron,
Avery
Avery
Bradley, he ain't
Bradley
there.
opted out the bubble,
That's
man.
right. That was the dude I was thinking that you could throw at him, but he not there.
Right. So
So,
so what you gonna throw Danny Green at him? LeBron gonna play D on him all day?
um,
Then you still got McCullough
well,
and you got Melo, man.
you can't throw Quinn Cook at him because that's Quinn. He'll eat Quinn Cook all
Quinn Cook
day.
ain't gonna make it on the
No,
floor, bro.
he ain't gonna make it. The bald eagle is not a defensive guy like that. So I mean, then of course
They have
Rondo is not
nothing,
there.
man.
They don't have nothing. No
They
defense.
got nothing.
J.R. Smith perhaps that got flustered him. I mean, you could throw bodies at him. Would it be effective? That's a whole nother thing.
No.
So I don't
LeBron
know.
is
I
the
don't
only
think so.
person that probably could cause some real problems for Dame. But LeBron is 85, man. He not about to guard Dame
They
the
don't
whole
have. They
series
don't
or
have
all
nothing.
game.
They
They're
don't
gonna
have
give him
nothing.
a quarter, maybe late in the game. And truth be told, I don't think LeBron can really stop him. And then you still got to deal with Nurkic,
Yep.
and you got to deal with Melo,
Yep.
you got to deal with McCullough.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And the other role players when they get it going, when Dame got it going, it just seemed like his
Everybody else
team
get
they
going.
they love that, man. They
Yep.
love they. This is a team where they love to see him get buckets like that. That enhances other people's games instead of having people just standing around watching him. His teammates actually move and be waiting for their turn, and they do what they do when they get it too.
Yeah,
So
and a lot of people need to. You're right when you say that, DC, about other guys love to see him get his buckets. And that Gary Trent Jr. is a guy that I was watching during the restart. He was playing and getting in there and making things happen as well. So, and of course, people don't know these guys like Zach Collins and Trevor, not Trevor Reeves, but Zach Collins and the rest of these guys that get in there and make things happen. So. They also they are a very deep team, long team too. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Once Lillard gets going, McCullough gets going, and then of course you have the defensive guys they could throw at the Lakers, guys like Whiteside and then you mentioned Nurkic, who's healthy. Remember in last year playoffs, remember Nurkic Remember when Nurkic went down during the season, and that kind of really hurt their chances as well. But he's back and he's
Right.
playing with a vengeance. And Nurkic is a good center, man. A lot of people sleeping on him and his
Yeah, he's
ability.
really
So,
good.
so
I
this
like
is
him.
this Portland team was underachieving, but this is they've realized their potential, and it sparked them coming into this restart, and they're on fire coming into the playoffs. And the first adversary is a team that has nobody to brace up against those guys. Quinn Cook, Alex Caruso. These are guys. J.R. Smith. You're gonna throw those guys at him? Is Deion Waiters even on this team? DC, is he activated? I don't know if Deion Waiters is activated on this team, on the Lakers team. I haven't heard too much from him. But man, it's a lot going on, dude. Here, and we're gonna see how LeBron James can overtake it, because a pissed off Portland club coming into a game against the Lakers that are weak in a lot of the positions where they need to be strong to fend off Portland. This could be an interesting series, man. A lot of people are gonna have their eyes on this matchup to see what LeBron James gonna do. But also, I'd like to thank everybody. That'll do it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with TSC Unleashed, baby. We're going to see if DC can chime back in. We'll have Uncle Mozzie on tomorrow's show as well as we get down to business with the NBA playoffs. We'll talk about some other news. We'll have some sport news to go over with you and some college news to go over with you as well. We'll have all that. We'll talk about that all tomorrow on TSC Unleashed. So, DC, thank you for joining me tonight, my man. DC's usually the Pelican contributor, but he's like, yo, Q, let me talk some NBA basketball. And, of course, the brother is part from the island. So I said, man, come on in. Let's talk about this here ball. So I appreciate DC for chiming in tonight. I appreciate you guys for showing us some support. So from me and DC, we appreciate you, and we'll holler at you later. Peace.